Hey guys, welcome back to Euro MMA Zone. Las Vegas. The lights never sleep here, the chips never stop moving, and tonight, inside the meta apex, neither do the fists. This is UFC Vegas 120, this is Gamrot versus Salkilld, and this is live. 12 fights, 8 weight classes, one night where legacies get written and reputations get buried. The desert doesn't care about your record, the Octagon doesn't care about your ranking. Tonight, it only cares about who wants it more. Let's get into it. At the top of the card, a lightweight collision that's been building for months. Two men, two completely different stories, one shot at climbing toward the top of the deepest division in the sport. In the veterans' corner, Poland's own Mateusz Gamrot. 26 wins, 4 losses, 1 no contest. 35 years old, and he knows exactly what that number means. The clock is loud in this sport, and Gamrot can hear every tick. This is a man who didn't just show up in the UFC, he arrived as a champion already. Before he ever stepped into this octagon, Gamrot was hoisting championship gold in KSW, Poland's biggest promotion, claiming both the featherweight and lightweight titles. That's not a resume, that's a statement. And when he got to the UFC, he kept writing history. Somewhere in his win column sits the fastest Kimura finish this promotion has ever seen, 65 seconds. 65 seconds to end a man's night. And when it comes to putting opponents on their backs, Gamrot sits at 4th on the all-time UFC lightweight takedown list. 49 takedowns and counting. But the last few years, they've been a roller coaster. Early 2024, he ran through a fading Rafael dos Anjos clean, dominant, unanimous decision. Then Dan Hooker happened. Gamrot got touched up, dropped a split decision, and the doubts started creeping in. 2025 answered back, a commanding decision win, taking apart a smaller Ludovic Klein and reminding everyone exactly what elite grappling looks like when it's controlling the pace of a fight from bell to bell. Now here he is, 35 years old, number 8 in the world, standing across the cage from a storm he did not create, but one he absolutely has to weather. Because in the other corner, Australia has sent its newest problem child. Quillan Salkilld. 12 consecutive wins. After dropping his very first professional fight back in 2021, Salkilld has not lost since, not once. 12 straight, and he's doing it with violence. 4 performance of the night bonuses on his resume, and get this, 3 of those came in just his last 3 fights. That's not a hot streak. That's a takeover. He arrived through Dana White's Contender Series and never looked back. This is his first ever UFC main event, and he's chosen the biggest possible stage to make his statement. No pressure, no hesitation, just 12 fights of pure momentum walking into the meta apex with the whole lightweight division watching. So here's the equation, fight fans. On one side, championship pedigree, elite-level grappling, a takedown resume that reads like a record book, and a veteran who knows exactly what it takes to survive 5 rounds of UFC pressure. On the other side, youth, momentum, 12 straight wins, and a finishing instinct that has him bearing down on the top of the rankings faster than almost anyone in the division. The betting markets have Salkilld sitting as the favorite. Gamrot currently sits around plus 115 as the betting underdog heading into fight night. The house believes in the hot hand, but championship-level wrestling and jiu-jitsu have humbled hot hands before, many times. Gamrot's path to victory is written in single words: control, pressure, mat time. If he can close the distance, change levels, and put Salkilld on his back, this fight turns into exactly the kind of grinding, physical, 5-round war that favors the man with more championship pedigree in the room. Salkild's path is just as clear. Keep it standing, keep the pace violent, make Gamrot pay for every single step forward. If he can stuff the takedowns and turn this into a kickboxing match, his athleticism and finishing instincts could turn 35-year-old Mateusz Gamrot into career loss number 5. One man is trying to prove that 12 straight wins isn't luck, it's a changing of the guard. The other is trying to prove that experience, championship pedigree, and grappling that's already made UFC history still means something at the top of the lightweight division. Tonight, right now, live from the Meta Apex, we find out. Segment 2, the co-main event, Ferreira versus Quarantillo. But before the main event walks out, the co-main event sets the table. And this is a fight between two men who have absolutely nothing left to prove, except that they can still do this at the highest level. Carlos Diego Ferreira. 19 wins, 7 losses, 41 years old. A UFC veteran who's been throwing hands inside this promotion since 2014. Ferreira isn't just a striker, he's a legitimate degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A career built on the mold of fighters like Rafael dos Anjos, Jiu-Jitsu aces who turned themselves into full-blown pressure fighters. He's got a snapping front kick that keeps opponents at a distance they don't want to be at. And when his punches land, they land with bad intentions. Across the cage, Billy Quarantillo. 18 wins, 7 losses. A product of Dana White's Contender Series back in 2019, a former King of the Cage lightweight champion, and a man who's finally making the jump up to 155 after building his entire UFC career at featherweight. This is his first fight at lightweight. First fight since December of 2024, and he is more than ready to reintroduce himself. Here's the story, though. Both of these men walk into the meta apex on a 2-fight losing streak. Combined age? 79 years old between them. This is a fight between two gritty finishers who know their prime windows are closing, and neither one of them is going out quietly. Ferreira comes in as the betting favorite, sitting around -175 to -186 depending where you look. The betting markets like his power, his defensive discipline, and his ability to end a fight early. His finishing rate sits at an impressive 63% for his career. Quarantillo comes in around +140 as live underdog value, a durable, high-pace fighter who's never been afraid to push forward against elite competition. One truth about this fight, call it now, call it early, this has car crash written all over it. Two aggressive, well-rounded veterans, both needing a win, both capable of ending the night in violent fashion. Whoever survives the firefight walks away with career-defining momentum heading into the back half of 2026. Segment 3, the co-feature, T.Y. Miller vs. Billy Ray Goff. And rounding out the top of the main card, a welterweight scrap that promises pure, unfiltered action from the opening bell. Ty Miller, undefeated, 7-0, 3 of those 7 wins by strikes, and he's coming off a statement of a UFC debut, a first-round knockout of Adam Fugit this past January that earned him a Performance of the Night bonus in his very first walk to the Octagon. This is a young fighter who's shown he doesn't need time to feel out the moment. He arrives and he finishes. Across the cage, Billy Ray Goff, a fighter who knows this business is unforgiving. Goff earned his UFC contract back in 2022 and has gone through the kind of stretch that tests everything a fighter is made of, currently riding a 2-fight skid without a win since August of 2023. This is a man fighting for more than just a check. He's fighting to remind the promotion and himself that he belongs here. This is the kind of fight that opens a main card and sets the tone for the entire night. An undefeated prospect looking to keep his perfect record alive against a durable veteran who has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to prove. Analysts are calling this an action-heavy opener, and if Miller's finishing instincts meet Goff's desperation, don't blink. This one could be over fast, one way or another. Segment 4, the undercard storylines. And that's not all, fight fans. The rest of the main card is loaded with storylines of its own. Heavyweights open things up as Steven Asplund steps in against Brazil's Guilherme Pat, a fight that's already being billed as an absolute slobberknocker. Darren Elkins takes on the surging Yadir Del Valle in what Elkins himself is calling the final walk of his UFC career, a veteran featherweight looking to close the book on his own terms. And on the women's side, former title challenger Amanda Lemos returns to the Octagon against the rising Alexia Tainara. A fight with legitimate rankings implications if Tainara can pull off the win in dominant fashion. 12 fights, 8 weight classes, every single one of them carrying its own stakes, its own stories, its own shot at history. Closing segment. This is UFC Vegas 120. This is 12 straight wins walking into his first main event, against championship pedigree that refuses to be written off. This is 2 grizzled veterans in the co-main, both refusing to let Father Time have the final word. This is an undefeated prospect looking to keep the 0 against a veteran with nothing left to lose. 12 fights, 1 night, live from the Meta Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. The gloves are on, the crowd is loud, and the only thing left to do is fight. UFC Vegas 120, Gamrot vs. Salkilld. Live right now.